Jim Carrey is the one who said, I wish everybody, something goes along the lines of, I wish everybody could, get rich and become famous so they could see that that's not the answer. And I think that is so true. Dentistry has um, done things for me beyond my wildest imagination. But you have to find things beyond their spiritual rewards, in dentistry. And that 80-year-old, I guarantee you, knows that he needs a purpose. And people have been gifted with different gifts and purposes in life, and you need to find that. And there's just so many wonderful avenues within our profession that we can do that.
Yeah.
Give you an example. We had a patient of a patient, not even a patient of record, but a patient of record. This Rotarian called me up, and our community had been taking in some Afghan refugees, and asked, he's a patient, and asked me if I would be willing to see a couple of those folks. And I was like, sure, I'll do it pro bono. It's not a, be happy to do it. So there's things all the way from something like that, from a missionary work that you can do in your own community, to self-esteem. I just submitted some veneers last week, and we did the what a lot of people don't know is people are lying when they say I just took this picture 10 minutes, 5 minutes after the seat. Like, yeah, right. So anyways, we brought her back a week.
After the gums,
yeah,
look better.
yeah, exactly. After the gums a little better. And, we took photos, and I'm telling you, just like, her self-esteem is just so much more improved. And those are things that to satisfy the soul that no amount of money can ever, you can't buy that.
Yeah.
And you just can't buy it. So those are things that there's lots of things like that in dentistry.
Well, I've said many times that dentistry rocks because we have the ability to change people's lives every day. Interesting. One of my mentors, Dr. Omer Reed, or of him, and Dr. Reed practiced through 87 years old. We lost Dr. Reed 2 years ago at the age of 89. But he practiced from age 72 to 87, the last 15 years of his career, by choice. He was financially independent, there's no need for the economics. He practiced by choice. He practiced 100 days a year for the last 15 years of his career. And it wasn't like, 2 days a week for 50 weeks. It wasn't like that at all. In fact, he might work 2 weeks, and then he and Marcy would go to New Zealand for 3 weeks, But he'd set his year up so he had 100 work days a year. Round number. And I had Omer on my podcast. In fact, I'll put that interview in the link, in the show link. So if any of you are listening, you might like to go back to that. But in that interview, I asked Omer, I said, talk to me about retirement. And at that time he was 82. And he said, well, Gary, he says, here's how I do it. He goes, I work 100 days a year. And if you do the math, that leaves me 265 days of the year. In a regular year, if it's a leap year, 256, where I can do whatever I want. And we do. Marcy and I travel, we see our kids, we see the grandkids, we have lots of hobbies and interests, and we do that. And then I practice dentistry 100 days a year. And he said, I have to tell you, I find more fulfillment in those 100 days than I do in the other 265. Now, don't get me wrong. I love what I do on those other 265 days, but I find more meaning, more purpose in those 100 days when I'm taking care of patients. And he kind of got melancholy about it. It was really an interesting reflection. And I think he's saying what you're saying is that at some point when we've got, life's necessities taken care of, roof over our head, safe environment, the home's heated, air conditioned, at some point there's got to be more. And I think dentistry can provide that in spades.
Absolutely. Absolutely.